Okay, we just need to talk to Aggie. She'll know what to do.
No, Sparky. I've been thinking about it, and
No, Morris.
No, it's all right, Sparky girl. It's over.
That's not true.
No, it is. But that's all right. Truly it is. Everything for a season and all that.
Morris Lupton, you will not give up.
Spark.
I'm sorry about that. Remember when I told you I was mostly Sparky? I am.
Then what?
I am the rock that you stand on. The wood you people built this town from. The magma bubbling beneath your feet.
Right.
And I'm...
Oh, Spark.
I know you feel forgotten. I know you want to move on. I do too, but I can't until I wrap up this last bit of unfinished business.
All right, Sparky.
Aggie.
Aggie? But where...
She is, but I can sniff her out.
But where would we find mementos from?
Back to your museum.
Ah, well, it's reopened.
Well, yes, but, you know, it is...
Ah, it was never my museum, Sparky. It was Shelmerston's.
Ah, come with me.
Oh. Well, don't suppose I'll have a look at Aggie's room the same way you...
Morris, take a look at those skulls.
The skulls? Well, they have memory...
Not quite. Look, I didn't explain this before because I felt things...
Oh, well, what do you mean?
Well, we aren't limited to memories of people who...
Oh, I didn't think dead stomachs could get queasy, but here we are.
When are we, Morris? This is Shelmerston and Aggie.
You are...
It was the worst night in the world when Aggie was born. It began in the old village, the one swept away by the rivers of fire. The ground shook and the earth split open and spat sparks. The sun hid and the huts burst into flame as we fled. I thought we would all die. Everyone washed in the burning orange death, and Aggie's mother howling with the pain of the child coming. We made it as far as the cliff top by the sea. The mountain was still roaring and roaring. The rock ran in rivers toward the sea. The air smelled of death and poison. But Aggie was perfect. Small and angry, her tiny fists pummeling the air. I used my knife to cut the cord. We chose a spot for the new village closer to the beach. The burning rivers cooled to pumice and black glass. I made sure everyone knew that a life that began in this way would be special. Not everyone believed me, but Aggie proved me right.
My goodness. Giving birth like...
So...
No, I'm pretty sure I've seen that knife before.
Okay, Morris.
Oh, I'll sing you a song of the Queen of the Sea. Of when I first met her and when she first met me.
Only one more riddle to solve, Morris. And then...
And then?
Wondrous delights, Morris. Wondrous.
Yeah, right.
Quiet, dog. You're in the company of riddle masters here. Just... Morris, you did it! Incredible work, my boy. Superb.
Oh, aye, well.
And now, for you.
Oh, boy.
Here it is, Morris. Your very own
Wow, oh, thanks.
I'm so proud of you, Morris. And listen, whenever you want to look at this certificate again, to bask in your own... I work when I play and I play when I work. I can run but don't walk, I have a mouth but don't talk. I grow in the winter, I die in the spring.
It was the worst night in the world. I thought we would win, but I mean...
Of course we watched her. We had heard of her birth and seen her on the shore, her feet sometimes in the seawater, her body in the sun. We did not show ourselves at first. As a test, we left the mirror on the black shore, born of the volcano on the same day as her, and waited to see what would happen, to see if it called to her. She picked it up, turned it from side to side. She took it home. The next time I saw her, I introduced myself. We sang together, and I showed her how the mirror worked, how if you emptied your mind and thought of air and light and sea, you would see things in its surface, how things would unfurl in the future. Aggie was better at mirror gazing than she saw a girl, her own daughter not yet born, as leader of the dry folk. I told Aggie to keep on gazing into that mirror, that one day the island would need something more than a...
Oh, I had a box of rocks that looked like that.
was always fearless. My mother Aggie told me there was nothing I couldn't do. With Otsul and without, I hunted the deer in the woods and the hares on the mountain, all before I had taken my first lover. And younger still, one time Aggie had me knock her tooth out when she was in terrible pain. I didn't mind even when the blood poured out. It was easy for me. Spears and knives were my nature. Death and courage were my meat and drink. I knew about Aggie's mirror, of course, but did not believe all of it. When Aggie warned us the mauler was sick and there would be fewer calves for the following years, none of us listened. It was to be my first cull. I wanted their blood. It was my nature. We would not take less of the mauler just because an old woman told us to. She came to the beach after the Morlow slaughter, her hair wild, eyes burning with fury, raged and shouted like a woman out of her mind. "We had killed too many," she said. Then she left the village, told us she was done with all of us, forever. As Otsul marked me with oil and blood, I did not mourn my mother leaving. I was young and foolish, and the sight of her ashamed me. But of course, I did not see what was to come.
To think that they were still having a...
Aggie must have sensed the trouble ahead. Maybe...
She was alone, and I would bring her food sometimes, samphire and sea urchins. She would make dry food and we would eat it together. Textures unlike any we knew that broke apart in your hands and in your mouth. We would sing together, make tea together. We became her family. The dry folk left her alone. She had a companion for a few seasons, a hind who came down from the mountain and slept at her fire. And then, for a few more, a golden hare that ate from her hand. One night we all felt it, those of us in the water and those above, the island waking, rumbling, alive again, more furious than before. I found Aggie awake, tending her fire, unsleeping, unresting, staring into her mirror. She told me she'd seen the island sinking into orange fire and boiling sea, lost forever above and below. The village and our town in the sea caves, all gone. Aggie went to the shore and blew the sinistral shell, calling our people up from the water. Aggie sang for them the oldest song, and we spoke for some time. That night, the sea and sky was all the same color, a deep grey blue like a mackerel's back without the glass. As the dawn approached, Aggie left the beach to return to her people, to tell them what must be done.
I'm not sure.
We have to, Morris.
We heard the shell and knew Aggie had returned. Ibni was the leader then. It had taken many seasons, more than we would have liked, but there were finally enough Morlo again, and our village was growing. We were strong. Some of the younger ones didn't know Aggie and didn't want to hear her, called her a moon-shotten crone, but Ibni looked in her mother's face and saw the truth of it. The end would come. The earth was growling again. There would be hot rivers of death and clouds of poison. But Aggie brought us the answer. She would give herself to the island. Ibni's voice shook. Surely a deer or a goat would be enough. The year's finest, blackest calf. Aggie cast down her eyes and shook her head. We all knew. I offered my blade, but Aggie turned me away. She took her knife that had cut her own cord the night the volcano last erupted and wrapped Ibni's fingers tight around the bone hilt. It must be you, Ibni, she said, and it must be now, before the sun comes up. This day, this morning, or we are all gone. The village, the people, the island. Aggie embraced her daughter. Ibni whispered something, but I could not catch the words. Both women's faces shone with tears. Aggie sat on the ceremonial stone, the tears streaming now from all of us. Aggie delivered her final message. She told us her body must not be burned or given to the sea, but lain in the earth of the island beneath the mountain. Ibni was shaking, and then I realized it was not just Ibni. The whole island was trembling under our feet, waking up. Aggie told Ibni. As Aggie took Ibni's hand and guided the knife to her side, we saw the fish folk rising from the sea, hundreds of them, so many. I had no idea there were so many. Aggie was quiet the whole time, but Ibni cried out. A sound of longing and hurting from her heart like I had never heard. Then she fell silent, and as Aggie's life poured from her body, the island and everything on it. We wept then, in sorrow and relief. Then the fish folk were among us, countless, numberless. One embraced Ibni, holding her up as it seemed her own legs might give way. When the sun came up that day, land and sea folk stood together for the first time, talking and singing the old songs. Aggie's Ibni and the fish folk took Aggie up onto the mountain. They laid her in the peat alongside the knife and all the things she would need on her journey. Ibni watched over Aggie for days afterwards. Before she was covered, she placed a sacred carved stone, Aggie's beloved hair, inside her mother's mouth, to guide her and help her keep the mountain.
Oh, Aggie. Hey, Sparky, it feels a bit...
You were the one who dug her up and put her...
But I...
Relax, Morris.
Well...
Okay, Morris. I'll level with you. We absolutely didn't need to find Aggie's...
But then, why...
Aggie thought it was important for you to see those memories. So you would...
That it was. The things I've...
You are very welcome, Morris.
Yes!
Morris! Sparky!
Hey, Aggie.
You, wait, you...
Of course I do. Morris Lupton.
Me?
Come now.
The one part of Shelmerston that looks just the same as the first day I saw it. I suppose it always will.
I love this beach. It's always been my favourite beach. I'm gonna go run.
Aggie, look at Sparky. She's shining.
That's the hope and the joy shining out of her.
That's it, isn't it? The point of all of this.
It is hope, home. This island, it chose the two of you just as it chose me.
And where will you be heading now? Heaven or something?
Heaven, what's that?
Well, I don't quite know how to explain it. But to me, it would be an awful lot like this beach.
I don't know where I'm going, but I'm hoping to see Ibni, my daughter. It's been a very long time, but I remember her. We never forget the ones we love, do we, Morris?
No, I don't suppose we do.
I think she wants something, Morris.
Huh. Would you look at that? I just found a tennis ball in my pocket. Here you are, girl.